Good evening, good morning, wherever you are and the time it is there. Wonder people, wonder human, I'm glad to greet you. This is Dr. Nicole. We are getting started here at the Practicing Positivity Studio. You may remember, maybe not. It has been a while, but I promised folks that after 10 days, I started a journey 10 days ago, and I wanted to come back and share what I learned on my journey and share some of the wisdom earned, some of the lessons learned, and what I'm going to be doing with it all as I go forward. So thank you all for joining me. Thank you for popping in wherever you are, whatever time it is. As I've said, what a joy to have you. So here's what we're doing now. Remember, this is where we are, and this is what we do here. We're at the Practicing Positivity Studio, as I said. And listen, this is our shared learning lab for plugging into, uncovering, unlocking, recovering and igniting those things that really stir up our energy, our vitality, our resilience, and love of life. So I had to actually pop in here at the end of this 10-day challenge because of that last part, stirring up those things that really bring such a resounding feeling of love of life. So here's what I did. If you all recall, on February the 27th, I had the fabulous occasion to be spending some time with the wonderful folks over at Hubble celebrating Black History Month with the dynamic, wise, and powerful Alexis Kerr. I was moderating what was originally promoted as a fireside chat, but we all quickly understood this was no fireside chat. This was not hot chocolate, marshmallows, and kick up your feet in front of the fire. Alexis Kerr brought the fire, so we had to turn that thing into a master class. And by the end of that time, you all, I felt so inspired. I felt so on fire. I felt so filled with gratitude. I found myself just shooting out message after message, post after post, just acknowledging all of the folks that had participated, all of the folks that had planned. And then that feeling of gratitude started to spill over. And I started acknowledging and just remembering all of those folks who had just fed into me, who had kind of watered the seeds in me, who had pulled me aside and pulled my coattail, told me some things that I needed to know about myself, gave me some insight, gave me some encouragement. And so it started me to thinking, hey, why not spend the next several days just sending out that vibe, continuing that flow of appreciation? So that's exactly what I did. If you all recall, you may have seen a message that I posted around this challenge that I called Share Some Love, Show Some Love, Share Some Love. So I've been on my first 10-day trek with this Share Some Love, Show Some Love challenge. And that's what brings me here to you all today. So that's how I got here. Shout out to Raquel Gutierrez, Dr. Raquel Gutierrez, who not only is a friend, who was joining me on this journey in her world, sharing some love and positivity with those around her. And also, she happened to be a member of my dissertation committee. So big shout out to Dr. Gutierrez there. But I also, just for all of those who participated, I had made one request. You had one job, and you all came through. I asked you to be my accountability crew. I asked you all to be my accountability system because, of course, research shows that when you share a commitment or an intended goal, you're more likely to actually complete it. So I actually enlisted my Facebook friends, my LinkedIn geniuses, and all of those folks around me in this. Hey, here's what I want to do. I want to spend the next 10 days keeping that appreciation flow going and growing. And so just wanting to keep track a couple of times a day, I'll post in and let you know what I'm doing. And let me tell you, there were a couple of disruptions in the force. Let me just say that. There were definitely some disruptions in the force. However, here I am 10 days later, and here's what I have learned. As we're talking about share some love, show some love, the thing that I became very acutely aware of at about day 5 is how great I am and how much I love sharing love and showing love out there with other folks. But I'm not so great, not so resilient, and not so consistent with sharing some love and showing some love with myself. So as I was rounding around day 8 and 9, I started to really focus in on sharing that love with myself, showing that love to myself. And it took the form of giving myself the rest that I desperately needed, but also using some very conscious breathing to keep myself present and to source myself so that I could give myself that moment to choose. I could really increase some space in there. When I started to feel stressed, I could take a few deep breaths consciously to remind myself, hey, wait a minute. Who do I really want to show up in this moment? Who do I want speaking in this moment? So I was able to really catch myself and be able to feel myself, which was absolutely wonderful. So that is, as I'm thinking about, again, this sharing some love and showing some love, that was the first thing, noticing that I often leave myself off. So some wisdom that I earned is, if I'm going to share some love and show some love, I've got to put myself in the center of that circle. I've got to put myself on my radar screen. And that of course, is the essential key for me. And then secondly, y'all, let me say, the tracking got raggedy. Okay, that's just the truth. The tracking got raggedy. So the second lesson learned and wisdom earned, the lesson learned was, hey, I need to keep things much more in my face. Putting them on my phone, that's fine. But I really need to, or posting them on Facebook, that's fine. But I really like writing pen and paper. So some of the wisdom earned is keep those things obviously in my face, but how it works. Yes, I want to post them in my phone. Yes, put some more alarms in. That will be helpful to me also as I go into this next series. But also I'm learning that I really have an affinity for actually handwriting, not just simply typing. So my handwriting of who it is that I'm appreciating, what it is that I'm appreciating them for, and of course, making sure that I give myself that heart at the morning and in the evening so that I can just look at a glance and I can see what it is that I've done, what are my stats, basically. So those are the two big pieces for me. And I know they may seem obvious, but those are the two big pieces on the practical, tactical. On the sheer, all I can say is entering this challenge and concluding this first 10-day challenge. All I can say is appreciation and gratitude. They are medicine. They are medicine for my soul. I am so thankful that I had started to study gratitude, study the science of gratitude, the science of positivity and happiness, the science of just following Dr. Barbara Fredrickson's work. Oh my goodness, the Gratitude Project out of, I believe it's University of California, but I can't remember which one. But just really studying the power of positivity has started to, particularly gratitude, has been such a powerful exploration for me. So I am grateful. I'm grateful coming into this as I conclude this 10-day challenge and entering the next 10-day challenge. Here's what I have for you. As you are thinking about We're coming into, holy cow, can you believe it? We're at the end of the first quarter. This is the perfect time to think about what you're grateful for. Why? Because at about this 90-day mark, all of those resolutions that we set for ourselves, all of those big goals that we've put in place for 2024, all of those big aspirations that we dared speak on New Year's Eve 2023, hey, this is the time that research says things really start to falter. Our distractibility can kick in, and we're thinking about other things now. Other priorities have arisen, new emergencies have come in, or new opportunities have begun to overshadow those things that maybe seemed like, this is my time. So check it out. As you see in the question below, just take a moment as you think about all of the great energy that you brought into this year. Or maybe if you're like a couple of people that I ran into at the turn of the new year, there wasn't a real shine on the new year. It was a little dusty. It looked a little bit like every other year. And so this is a great moment to just take a second and say, you know what, grab a pen, grab a piece of paper, and note for yourself, hey, what in the world can I appreciate right now? Who can I appreciate right now? What in my life could I appreciate right now? What about myself? What am I most proud of as I think about myself and I think about moving through this new year, moving towards my goals? What's the thing? I don't care if it's a millistep. I don't care if it's a quantum leap that you've made over the last 90, 60 days. Whatever it is, take a moment. And if you're big and bold, put it in the comments. What are you grateful for? I know for me, one of the things that I am most grateful for, I've started running every day, not 5 miles a day. I just run up every hill I see as I'm walking the dog. And that's my run for the day. And I get to do that twice a day. And that has made me feel so phenomenal. What it is that I'm grateful for is actually a who. I can't leave my spouse. Oh my goodness. Every time I have an opportunity to just open my heart, open my ears, and listen to the wisdom that I'm privy to from my spouse. The wisdom that she has is amazing. So just today, she was just giving me some coaching about, hey, you know what? Be grateful for appreciating yourself. Let that be enough. Let that be enough. So just take a moment, hit the comments and say for yourself, hey, what or who do you appreciate right now? What or who do you appreciate about you? What are you most proud of? As you're thinking about this next 90 days, don't be intimidated if you haven't made a move on those goals that you thought were most important. Maybe you need to reevaluate them and recommit to them. And then again, amplify your energy with some gratitude. So it has been a great 10 days for me. I'm looking forward to the next 10 days of gratitude and appreciation, and to keep that energy going, growing, and flowing. So this is it. This is my first 10 days. I will see you back here in another 10 days. And thank you for all of you who assisted me, helped me, sent me some good energy. I'll look forward to it as we go forward, and I'll be sending you that same energy back. So thank you, and more soon, my friends. Enjoy. And please know, I appreciate the light that you are putting in the world. Bye for now.